How's it going, everyone? I'm Butler, and on today's serving of LARP will be another fundamentals video covering another style of fighting. These fundamentals will be covering the pros of a certain style, as well as some tips and things you need to be aware of. And on today's video, we'll be covering dual wielding. Dual wielding is another preferred style of fighting for new players as well as veteran players because of its versatility in combat, its potential damage output, and you look like a bloody badass with two swords. So let's get started then. The first pro with fighting with dual weapons is that since you have two hands available for two different weapons, you can change up whatever weapons you want to use in each hand. So it can be two swords, an axe and a sword and an axe, a hammer and a sword, a long sword and a short sword, and virtually any other type of weapon you can think of that is within the rules. This wide range of combinations can give you different type of fighting styles you want to be. So if you want to fight up close and personal, opt for short swords. If you want to fight for a bit more of a distance, fight with longer swords. There are different types of way of fighting depending on what type of weapons you want to use with your dual wielding combinations. So the possibilities are endless. Another good pro with dual wielding is its versatility in combat. So you can go full frontal assault with both weapons, forward grip, just attacking your opponent, adding pressure to your opponent. Or if you're being pressured yourself, you can opt for a reverse grip, so you can defend as much as you can to give yourself time for backup to arrive. Or you can do one forward grip and one reverse grip. So you can defend with the reverse grip, attack with the forward grip, or even do a quick little attack with the reverse grip. Now, these pros may sound good. You have a lot more flexibility and more versatility and combinations to use on the LARPing field. However, there are things you're limited to, things you're not allowed to do when you want to fight with dual wielding. The first thing you need to be aware of is that you cannot block arrows. Unlike a shield, you really can't block magic or arrows. You can block everything else and throwables if you're fast enough, but it is highly discouraged to try to deflect an arrow with a weapon because one reason, you may damage the arrow and they're tough and they're expensive enough as it is in the hobby, but also you may hurt yourself and other people. One example happening to me is when I was fighting in LARP, an opponent fired an arrow at me, it hit me, but I reacted too slow and I reacted stupidly. I tried to deflect upwards and the knock of the arrow deflected up and it hit me right above my eyebrow. It stung like a bitch, but I was lucky. So if you see someone aiming an arrow at you and you have dual wielding, don't defend it, don't deflect it, just dodge. Another thing to be mindful of is when you adopt a reverse grip, and depending on how you hold it, you can start to grow a bit of a chicken wing. This is an easy target for your opponent and not very easy to defend yourself against unless you dodge. I have been a victim of this as well. When I adopt a reverse grip, I have my arms enclosed. So I have my arms like this, and I had sprouted two chicken wings. These were perfect targets to attack me with from my opponent. A good way to fix this is to have your weapons outside the profile of your body, so you can protect your sides, because those are usually the main targets for your opponents to attack you. And if you worry about your torso, that's fine, because your reverse grip is good for defending quickly across your body. Another way of doing this is to minimize your profile, is to adopt a forward stance. Have your dominant arm forward, have your reverse grip at the back. The weapon is still outside the profile of your body. If you minimize that profile, you can easily defend, and it's easier and it's harder for your opponent to attack you. So minimize your profile, have your weapons outside the profile of your body, and you can defend yourself more better and more easily, and not have your chicken wing be your downfall. The last thing I like to cover is with dual wielding, you need to be fast and reactive. You don't have a shield, so you don't have the defense to give yourself more time to think of a strategy and defend yourself. With weapons, you need to defend yourself reactively, on time, and as fast as you can, otherwise you will get defeated easily. So be fast, be reactive, and learn how to defend yourself more effectively with your weapons. So a quick recap on today's fundamentals. A lot of different combinations you can use with different each hands for dual wielding. So axes, swords, maces, daggers, any type of combination you can with dual wielding. very versatile and flexible in all sorts of combat situations. So you can be fully offensive, you can be fully defensive, and you can be somewhere in between to last longer in the battle. You cannot defend yourself against arrows, so dodge them if you can. If you adopt a reverse grip, you have to be aware of your chicken wing. And last but not least, you have to be fast, you have to be quick, you have to be reactive. Be aware, hopefully these tips will help you out in the long run. But if you're new to the hobby and you find yourself still being at a disadvantage, that's okay. It takes time and experience to be better at the fighting. And that's all we have, and that's all for today's dual wielding fundamentals. I hope you learned a thing or two. If you did, hit that like button. If you enjoy my servings of LARP, hit that subscribe button. And if you think someone would like these, share the page around. I'm Butler, farewell, and take care.